Hello, all you beautiful people. Welcome to the reading. If you're a listener, if you're a watcher, if you're a viewer, if you're a possible future subscriber, I welcome you to this shit. This is Monkey Fan Stands. This is me. I'm Percy Man. And this is Planet of the Apes issue 2. We just gonna hop right into it. This is a beautiful cover. We like seeing this older style of seeing Caesar. Here's the back cover. Fantastic. Just a great portrait of him. I can't draw worth shit, so pretty much any drawing I see looks amazing to me. And let's just get right into it. So here is saith the lawgiver, the prequel or the prologue to the second book. Okay, in the beginning, God created beast and man so that both might live in friendship and share dominion over a world at peace. But in the fullness of time, evil men betrayed God's trust and, in disobedience to his holy word, waged wars not only against their own kind, but against the apes, whom they reduced to slavery. Then God, in his wrath, sent the world a savior miraculously born of two apes who descended on earth from Earth's own future. And man was afraid, for both parent apes possessed the power of speech, so both were murdered. But the child ape survived and grew up to set his fellow creatures free from the yoke of human slavery, and his name was Caesar. In the aftermath of the Night of Fire, Caesar was determined to bring civilization to his ape brethren, and so he spoke to them the first law: ape shall never kill an ape. Don't kill another ape. And Caesar's voice was strong. Apes in every nation heard the voice of Caesar, and so they became as Caesar and stood beside him in defiance of man. First among them was Aldo, the gorilla, who turned man's own words against him, and the first word was no. But Caesar's knew that man possessed terrible weapons of fire and destruction, and the will to use them against the apes. He knew a brutal cataclysm would befall them so long as Caesar ruled man's city. Yet the armies of man remained silent, and the rulers of men became afraid that Caesar would learn their terrible secret and become as powerful as they. And soon the day came to pass when the fate of ape and man alike rested in the hands of Caesar. Beep, 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 beep. Hasselen Air Force Base, Area 51. Everything is under control. Everything is under control. Everything is under control. Everything is under control. Once again, Media Secretary Nora Rhodes expressed her assurance that the situation is contained and that everything is under control. Everything is under control. Revolution on the Planet of the Apes. Part 2. Lines of communication. Everything is under control. I'm afraid, Lisa. Beep, 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 beep. San Diego. Exclusion zone. Afraid of the future I see. Or is it my parents' past? I'm afraid of what comes after this. I would give anything to speak to my parents, to let them know I survived, to beg their forgiveness for what I'm going to do. Journal of Dr. Bryce Evans. I always thought we were meant to be, Nora, despite all our differences. Remember when you said our meeting was inevitable? Well, now I realize that was our parting as well. If we'd stayed together, I might have followed you to Washington. Instead, I'd stayed and wound up trapped in this hell, hiding in the shadows, continuing my work, finding my true destiny. Don't worry, little fella. You're going to help me save the whole world. Nora, if only you could see me now. Tomorrow. By tomorrow, it will be too late. Why, a tiny, mindless insect like the Emperor Morth can communicate with another over distance of 80 miles. An Emperor Ape do slightly better? Slightly. What have you seen here today? Apes on 5 continents will be imitating tomorrow. Authorities assure us that there is absolutely no cause for alarm and everything is under control. Your ISP has been shut down in accordance with American Truth Act. So, I hear San Diego's being run by a talking monkey. Big deal. Washington's been run by a talking ass for years. Beep, 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 beep. Washington, D.C. Someone want to explain to me what the hell is going on here? Organized ape revolts cropping up across the country. Lost contact without bases in the north and southwest. 2/3 of National Guard are deployed overseas. It is self-evident, Mr. President, they are communicating. They can't even speak. Communication is not speak. Mr. Defense Secretary, one can speak for hours and communicate nothing. Just ask Miss Rhodes. Even an ape could see your theories have no practical value, Dr. Reich. We need to strike at Caesar now. Not until we're sure about Church Door. Church Door? And just worry about information control, Rhodes. I find that information rarely responds to orders. What the hell is this? Hail Caesar, People's Magazine. Minor leakage, Mr. President. No one pays attention to print media. In any case, we intercepted the distribution. I assure you we have everything under control. Caesar has access to a media beyond Miss Rhodes' understanding. His mind is reaching out to the apes and changing them, perhaps consciously, perhaps not. We may be seeing the dark side of Caesar's own subconscious acting out. Great. So his mind's the problem. How do we go about changing it? Mr. President, changing minds is my specialty. Kind of gave her... Hard to give her a chick's voice when I'm just reading it. My bad. Beep, 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 beep. Los Angeles. Come and get it! Wooly's got an ape! Oh, look out! Oh my god, he's killing everybody! Come on, you dumb bastard! Ah! No! Get him! Take this! It's really all over, isn't it? I don't even know whose side I'm on. If there are even sides anymore. I can't just stand by and do nothing. Someone has to make sure this gets out. The people deserve to know what's happening. What's really happening. They deserve the truth. I have the tools I need to bring to them. Sir. Huh? Oh my god, but I still need to go straight to the source. To Caesar. All my life I have dreamt the end of the world. Apes and humans at each other's throats. A great golden sword poised to destroy them all in the hands of a man whose fear of my kind outstripped only by the loathing of his own. It's doomsday, Zios. A hatred so bright it burned the whole world to cinder. I always wondered how hate could consume so totally, and then I met you. Caesar, I demand you let me go now. You no longer have any authority here, Governor Breck. This city belongs to me now. MacDonald! You monkey-loving son of a bitch! I might have known you'd go along with this. Caesar, this isn't necessary. Oh, but it is, Mr. MacDonald. If you'd spent one moment in this table, you'd understand. Like father, like son. Like mother, too. She cut people up like lab rats. You know that? Your father killed an unarmed orderly in cold blood. Liar! Look it up. Liar! Caesar! No! I don't really know those words, but anyways. This is inhuman. This shock table was invented by humans, used by humans to torture and kill. It couldn't be more human. If you kill me, it'll be all out war. I don't want to kill you. I simply want to see you to see the world as I do, and then I want the world to see you as you are. But first, I want you to tell me everything about Church Door. Church Door. Haven't got a clue. The hell you don't. You want me to talk to Caesar? You need to give me all the facts. You're in charge of media, Rhodes. You're not cleared for all actual information. I don't need clearance. I know Breck's in the bed with your defense counsel. What's so special about Church Door that you can't afford to lose? Or that you can't afford Caesar to find? You're from San Diego originally, aren't you, Rhodes? You got family there. Mother, father? Fiance, actually. Right. The geneticist. Bryce Evans. Though I guess it's ex-fiance now, right? You're not the only one who knows how to find things out. You're dodging my question. That's because I understand the value of keeping sensitive information secret. What's that? This is Government Flight David 14 on priority approach incoming military aircraft. Bit late for an escort, guys. Oh my god. It's monkeys on the planes! I really like the art in this. Alright, next one. Boom! Oh god! Help me! Tell me what is Church Door! Don't let Caesar find it! Whoosh! And he'll destroy us! Captain, we've got a problem? Correction, I've got a problem. End of part 2. Heck yeah. I like that one. Lots of good scenes. Keeping it real. I like the really dramatic art style. Killing it. Alright, I know Caesar's a monkey, but this guy is a public speaker, so I gotta give him a good voice here. This is back to his journal. I'm gonna be maybe putting some timestamps for the different parts, because obviously each book kind of has like 2 or 3 different stories / a journal in it, and I could separate that for you now that you kind of know what's going on with these books. Anyway, Caesar's Journal. I have spent my entire life dreaming of fire. As a child, I would often wake, screaming, waking with the feeling of heat on my face, the smell of smoke in my nostrils choking me. I remember Armando tried his best to console me, reassure me, tell me they were only nightmares, that they couldn't harm me. But I also remember the strange look on his face as he himself didn't entirely believe what he was saying. I was older when he finally told me of my parents, Cornelius and Zyra, and the strange circumstances of my birth, how they came from many tomorrows away, a distant future where all apes could think and speak as I did. At first, I was sure he was only telling me a fairy tale, but to make me feel like less of an outcast, until he told me the end of the story, until he told me how they died, how they were killed, murdered, and the reason why. The dream stayed with me as I grew to maturity, becoming clearer and more vivid each day. Faces I did not recognize, places I had never been, and for a time I believed these to be memories of the future, passed on to me somehow from my parents. Memories of the burning world they had escaped. Tonight I took out over this city. Tonight I look out over that city, Ape City, and saw the fires of my revolution still burning. I felt the heat on my face. I smelled the smoke in my nostrils, and suddenly I understood these dreams that had haunted me my whole life. They weren't dreams at all. They were visions of today and tomorrow. I was different than other apes in Armando's circus. There were days I wished I wasn't. I wished that I couldn't speak. I would be so much simpler. But Armando told me I was special, not because I could speak, but because I could think. I could reason. I could see things in a way that others of my mind could not. Armando, if only you knew how right you were. I wish you were here now. You always knew the right thing to do. Tomorrow I will go back to see Breck. Mr. McDonald tells me he remains defiant. I must do everything in my power to remain calm when I see him, but even writing his name fills me with anger. I can barely contain the things he has done, the things he planned to do. If my revolution is to be more than a bloody uprising, I must first show this man, this human, who once called himself my master, the true meaning of civilization. But the burns from his torture device are still fresh on my arms. I still hear the sound of his voice calmly ordering my death. I like the journal. It kind of gets like more messy as he gets like more angry, obviously. Pretty cool. I like that effect. I tried to portray that effect a little bit. He is the key. I must never let myself forget this. If I give in to my rage, if I kill him, I doom us all. I must be calm. I must be calm. I must be calm. I will tell him the information I gleaned while in his charge, the snippets of conversation overheard, the classified documents entrusted to a stupid ape for courier to the security section, and then he will tell me the rest. He will give me church door, and when I have it, the revolution will truly begin. Caesar, Ape City, Day 6. This is that People News monthly magazine that they said they stopped from circulating, which obviously they didn't. Kind of nice that they threw it in there so you could see it. We bury it. What? We have to bury the whole story, the whole issue. That's what the Pentagon Bureau of Info says. But the story is the story of my career. Hell, the story of the decade. A talking ape in control of an American city. He claims to be the son of Cornelius and Zaira. That's just it. He claims. You talked to him when no one else could get a phone line into the city, a tabloid reporter. It was Governor Beck's secure line. Caesar said he enjoyed the irony of our magazine name. I'm sorry. There's no way of corroborating any of this. Caesar is already all over the webcast, Ivan. You were willing to run the story this morning. What happened? We're still smarting from the Colorado Springs fiasco. I can't afford to print any more retractions. Our credibility is in the commode as it is. Undersecretary Rhodes at the Pentagon told me this whole Caesar mess is a hoax. She can prove it. Then let her prove it. I know who I talked to and I have tapes. Look, we're against the wall. This is a matter of national security, Miss Carroll. Authorities have seized our print run and have demanded all your notes and discs by 8 o'clock this evening. What are my options? Jail for a story that might be a hoax. I'll take my chances. Give me that. Where are you going? To bury this issue, like you said. In the wall safe in my office, titanium steel 4 inches thick. They can bury it. I'm going to if they can bury it, but I'm going to dig it up again later. People will be made aware of this. You're throwing away your future. The future. Don't you watch the webcasts? We may not have a future. Zira. Zira, come look at this. What's all this fuss, Cornelius? An ancient book, maybe thousands of years into the few. This site is a treasure trove. It's something called People News, but it has a chimpanzee on it. Curious. He looks just like you. But if it's a book, let's open it up. Tut tut, Zira, patience. The paper is incredibly old. This must be handled delicately back at the lab. And then we will learn what it has to say. Give me that! Dr. Zios, please be careful. I believe that it is from an antiquity from before the age of the first lawgiver. A journal on human farming, the title suggests. Nonsense. This is an abomination, a joke planted by some disgruntled student, no doubt, to discredit our work here. But this inept forgery shall not see the light of day. I shall see to that. People news? What news could there be about people? At first glance, it seemed quite genuine. Are you questioning my authority? Not at all, sir. Merely your expertise at dating artifacts, an area I consider my specialty. I was referring to my authority as head of the Science Council. You would do well to remember that. He remembers, Dr. Zios. Dr. Zaius. I remembered how to say it. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Yes, and remind your insubordinate fiancé that his job security relies on my approval. Yes, Dr. Zaius, I'll remind him. Jobs of influence are a rare commodity. You could ill afford to lose this one. As he sees him, he's hiding the fact that he's the parent. You never know. You might have a family someday. The end. Obviously, he knows. Anyways, guys, I've been Percy Man. I will always be Percy Man. And, yeah, I hope you liked that one. Catch the next one. It's, Revolution on the Planet of the Apes. The sky is on fire. They kind of hinted that in this issue. Next issue gonna be litty like a titty. Okay, Percy Man out.